So today, gonna be going over Rodin Cute Roy versus Mutiny S2H's Metaknight. I can't remember if I did actually do a 1 versus Metaknight already, but there's always more stuff to talk about. So yeah, and since this was the one that Cute had requested, I'm gonna be going over this. I need to get my pen correct. I'm pretty sure everybody wishes they have Japanese SDI. It's pretty intense. So this matchup has some quirks to it, as basically all matchups do. One of the big things about Metaknight is that his dash attack reaches super, super far, and leads to really big confirms. Like, its end lag is lower than a good number of dash attacks, so punishing it is pretty difficult. And at least a good confirms generally up tilts at like lower percents and then up airs afterwards, or just straight into up airs. Did I spell it wrong? I did spell it wrong. Oops. Let's that extra I should not be there. Okay, there we go. Now we have correctly spelled words. I mean, it's kind of distorted because of the small file, anyways, but whatever. But yeah, so this big ol' threat zone is really, really important versus Metaknight, because if you get hit by a dash attack, bad things happen. Whether that's like getting up aired and taking a ton of damage, or like just getting straight into the like up B and potentially killed. It leads to very, very bad things. So this is a big thing for respecting Metaknight's space, is understanding that anytime that you're in this area, he can be dash attacking you. Yeah, something bad always happens. Whether it's like something super terrible or just like something kind of bad things will happen. And this is the danger zone. This here there be dragons, and Metaknight's dash attacking you and up airs. So you really need to be careful whenever you're in this space with Metaknight, and that's kind of a hard thing to. This is actually a new drawing tool. Yeah, I'm messing with Epic Pen rather than what I was using before, which makes it so I can like undo, and it's got like the light highlight rather than completely overwriting stuff, which is kind of cool. It wasn't working for OBS before, for the earlier version of OBS, but this OBS Studio, it is working, so that's kind of cool. Small improvements on our drawing tools. I was thinking something bad happens because every time I say swag, it happens. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this is actually kind of a hard thing for Roy to deal with, because this is generally where Roy is really good. Like, Roy's positioning, whenever he can be inside jab range or down tilt range, and not inside shield grab range, so like from... Like, this is the optimal spot we want people to be at a lot of the times whenever we're playing as Roy. And as you can see, obviously, Metaknight just does not give half a shit about any of that. His threat range is so much bigger. So it can be pretty difficult sometimes to actively put pressure on Metaknight, because getting into this zone where our little box of threat is actually on top of Metaknight, and we didn't get dash attacked on the way there, is pretty challenging. So, like, a lot of times, what you'll want to do as Roy is, you know, like, hop around in neutral, and kind of like set up for like forward airs or falling aerials, or like even just empty hops to try and set up pressure, short hop neutral airs to cover space. Metaknight doesn't care about any of that. If you ever jump and then land whenever you're inside this threat radius, you get dash attack. Like, that's... Not all Metaknights will be as dash attack heavy, so don't necessarily go for it all the time, but there will be Metaknights out there who will just dash attack you for free, because it's free and it's delicious for them. So I think a lot of the times you should be playing a little bit more grounded against Metaknight, especially because he can just dash forward and increase his threat radius by just moving forward a little bit. So his threat range out is really, really huge. And the way that I usually deal with it is by staying grounded a lot, because shielding the Metaknight dash attack isn't amazing. Like, it's got low enough end lag that it's not always punishable. Can be difficult to punish it sometimes, but it's still better than getting dash attacked and then eating tons of percent. Yeah, dealing with Metaknight's threat zones without a projectile is not very fun. It is a hard time. Do you think he'll be back to competing in Shockwave by a month from tomorrow? Hard to say, Cranium. Yeah, I am taking a bit of a break for anyone who doesn't know. Just a little bit more lax. I'll still be doing these analysis videos, especially because it helps all the other right players, and I want to keep streaming and doing more fun stuff. Just focusing a little bit less on competing myself, at least for the next couple weeks or so. We'll see how it goes from then on. Yeah, I played against Fao. I believe it's Fo. Not Fo. Shit, I forget the name. What's up? I'm Benka. There's the name of a Metaknight player who's around, who I played against multiple times in a bracket, and it's kicking me that I can't remember his name. I'm really, really bad at this, remembering players' names. Because I should definitely remember him. I played against him several times. I know exactly what he looks like, but yeah, I played against him a lot, and he's pretty dash attack heavy, so I've had to get used to dealing with it. Yeah, so what I usually do to deal with this, the problem of Meta Knight's dash attack, is staying grounded, not jumping. That's what it is. Not Fo. Thank you, neighbor. Fo, of course, being the NES player. But yeah, so I usually stay more grounded because if you jump, then you get dash attack, and getting dash attack sucks. Dashing actually isn't particularly great either, since Roy has a 16-frame long dash. If we're like doing our dash dancing back and forth sort of thing, extended to foxtrotting, that's a really big window for Meta Knight to be dash attacking us. So that's generally not too safe either. You can get away with it some, especially if they're not like super dash attack heavy, but it can be kind of scary. A lot of times, what I'll be doing instead is moving with crouch walking and just walking around to try and set up for good spacing. If you can get inside his range, if you can get to like right here, where we can be poking with down tilt and jab, it's a pretty good range. Meta Knight's attacks come out relatively fast, but ours are kind of beefier hitbox-wise as far as actually being up in front of his face goes. So, perfect pivot shield would be a decent response, yeah. So if you're good at perfect pivoting, then it's as easy as breathing. You're a liar and a cheat to say such things. Yeah, it would be probably pretty useful in this situation to be able to, like, dash pivot. I don't know about perfect pivoting forward, but if you're trying to bait him into the dash attack, like, foxtrotting forward, foxtrotting back, and then perfect pivot into shield could be a decent way. The problem is that it's not really punishable on shield very much. Sometimes we'll be able to get side B out of shield if he dash attacks us. A lot of times that'll be just clipping him out of whatever he tries to do afterwards rather than actually punishing him. But it's something you can do. Another thing you can actually do is walk forward so like you're in the range for the dash attack, and then turn around in shield. And so that way, whenever he dash attacks and he crosses you up, then you can shield grab him, because he's basically always going to be crossing us up after a dash attack. So that's something to keep in mind, something that you can kind of set up for. Also, something to keep in mind is that if he ever dash attacks you whenever you're at the ledge, then he stops, of course, right at the ledge. So we can get some better punishes by sort of shield camping near the edge of the stage, and then if they dash attack in, then since he's not moving as far away, he'll still be in range for that. So if they're like super dash attack heavy, you can play with your back to the ledge and then punish them for it. Although generally we don't want to be playing with our back to the ledge, so it's not like necessarily something we want to be doing all the time. But one thing to keep in mind, one way that we can get a kill. So. But yeah, using crouch walking to walk forward into this space and then set up for like down tilts and jabs. Down tilt actually does a pretty decent job of clashing with Meta Knight dash attack, which doesn't lead to a great situation afterwards, but it does stop him from hitting you with dash attack, and it's not as bad a situation as shielding and then having him to your back after the dash attack ends. So it's a decent way to like move forward and kind of like poke at him to try and keep him off of you with that. Meta Knight doesn't really have any other approaches that are super scary, so as long as we can stop him from hitting us with dash attack, it doesn't really have too many other options to open us up other than like running grab, which we have to be shielding for that to work. So yeah, so that's the major blurb to keep in mind for this character, since dash attack is so incredibly important and it's incredibly obnoxious to deal with without a projectile. Yeah, S2H plays a little bit more reserved than Phi as far as dash attacks go. Actually, jab clanking with it here. That's pretty good. From my experience, jab is a little bit harder to clank with the dash attack, but obviously, as you can see here, it is still a thing that can happen. This is a thing Metaknight can do. Backthrow does actually combo into stuff, which Mutiny does pretty consistently here. I don't know if it works if we actually DI the backthrow appropriately. I don't know what DI this was, but we may be able to like DI in and jump over the dash attack. Or DI down and away and hit the ground similar to like our forward throw. Metaknight's a pretty good weight for side B actually connecting fully, but obviously whiffing it is pretty scary news. This is good actually. This is a thing that's pretty clever to do. Is well, here you actually just jump straight back, but jumping straight back is a pretty decent way to do. If like you ever find yourself in range, so you can see here, cute. Yep, I definitely just closed VLC. Let's get that. Let's back up and running. So my hotkey to turn on my pen is Control-Shift-Q, and apparently VLC has a hotkey to shut down with Control-Q or Shift-Q, one of the two. I missed one of my buttons there. So maybe you'll have to change that hotkey. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, and teching the jab block is pretty important. So the fact that he did that is very good. We'll get about a minute in. Oh, a little bit too far. Here we go. Now I'm going to turn up the audio a little bit. So yeah, whenever you're inside of Metaknight's dash attack range, this is a pretty good way to disengage. So because you can see here, I'm changing this hotkey before I screw it up again. Please hold one moment. Okay. There. So now I won't accidentally shut down my VLC again. So whenever, like you can see here, he's Mutiny is moving forward to set up the range for his dash attack. Camera zoomed in a little bit more, so the range is a little bit better than like what we were looking at before. But yeah, whenever you're inside this range, just jumping backwards is a pretty good way to get out of it. Because you see here, this is what cute does. And at some ranges, you could probably even forward air to punish it. So something to maybe look for. Yeah, as you can see, you don't have time to land and punish afterwards. Metaknight dash attack has very, very little landing lag. So. Yeah, so whenever you get hit by Metaknight up air, you basically always want to be DIing away from him, this direction. Because it's actually at like a slightly, it's not a direct up angle on his, well here, this is actually kind of, this is kind of light, I don't know, well I guess you guys can see it pretty well. I think I'm not switching over to just the pencil. We'll use this for now. Let me know what you guys think, which one should be a bit better. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, for his up air, it's not a directly straight up angle. Instead, it's something closer to like a little bit forward. So if you DI in this direction, you get sent out much further, and then he doesn't really get too much off of it, especially if you SDI it. If you roll your control stick, as soon as like the up air is actually hitting you, rolling your control stick in this direction will push you out further even more, so his follow-ups get even worse. Some characters still get screwed, like the floatier characters like Rosalina. I'm sure you guys, if you've watched any of those matches, Abadongo versus Dabuz, Rosalina still gets kind of boned by it, but every other character can SD out of up air strings, and a lot of times, if you do it properly, if you DI in time and SDI in time, they often can't even get the up B afterwards, which of course is really important because up Bs make us dead, and we want to be alive as long as humanly possible. So right here, in this situation, it's understandable to not be DIing on time on the first up air, but yeah. So yeah, like right here, getting caught by the couple, the extra up air and the up B there is a lot of damage that could have been mitigated by proper SDI and DI. Neutral air still works against Metaknight. A little bit worse than some characters since he's so short. We have to get in pretty deep to actually hit with it. But yeah, forward smash is a good thing. So you can see what Mutiny's trying to do here. He's actually not doing anything at all. He's just spacing with forward smash and then walking away. And it's pretty difficult for Roy to get in on that since Roy doesn't have great approach options himself. There is like a bit of a chance for us to see if I can get the good frame on when F smash is coming out. It is possible for us to jump over F smash and fall with forward air, possibly even neutral air, but it's a scary thing to do, especially since if we trade with this forward smash, we're going to be taking a lot of damage. But in general, F smash is a really, really safe tool. Even if we shield it or power shield it, he can press buttons, down tilt, or even roll away before we'll be able to retaliate. It's a thing Meta Knight's always been able to do since Brawl. His forward smash just has limited lag. It's something we have to deal with. I think if we get in close enough, we can probably shield and shield grab it. Let's check on that. Let us consult the frame data. Where are you, Meta Knight? Let me know if you guys want. I don't know if you can see the link. Yeah, you can't actually see the. If you want me to link this in chat, let me know. Anyone who doesn't already have it bookmarked somewhere, because you should have it bookmarked somewhere. This tool is amazing. Where is F smash? F smash is -6, which means we can technically shield grab it. Or no, that's. Yeah. That's straight up the end. I'm looking at the right part. So it is. It's only plus on block if you drop shield. I don't think any character actually has any plus on block smash attacks, because that's actually really dumb. But there's lots of moves like this where it's just barely negative, and in Smash that's basically means that it's safe, especially with the pushback. We'd have to be pretty close for us to actually be able to shield grab whenever F smash finishes. But due to the fact that you have to drop shield to be able to retaliate, that makes it so it's very, very safe, since dropping shield takes 7 frames. Smash actually is not designed at all to be able to properly deal with plus on shield moves. The game actually breaks down. So it's a very good thing that they're not actually plus on shield. Because, yeah, the shield mechanics just aren't meant to deal with it. The Meta Knight matchup is hard, but that is why we are doing the analysis on it, of course. Yeah, the pushback is one of the big things, and I mean it's a decent hitbox here, as you can see. Like the hitbox reach is decently far in front of him. And all of this is disjointed, so it's a pretty difficult move to beat, and it can be spaced pretty safely. And yeah, and then again, imagine the pushbacks would be. If you power shield it, you shouldn't actually get pushback, so then it should be easier to shield grab. But even then, like they usually do it whenever you're already decently far away from. Rather than using it as like an up close like brawling tool, they use it as a tool to poke whenever you're already far away to try and keep you out of this area. So it's generally pretty difficult to punish. Let's be real. Who actually has an easy matchup versus Meta Knight? I have no idea. I don't really know Meta Knight's matchup very well. Definitely not Rosalina. Yeah, those kill carries are pretty brutal. Yeah, what I was starting to say before is that Mutiny, what he's doing here, he's gotten to the point where he has a % lead. And this is where things get kind of like a little bit difficult as Roy, because he can space that smash, keep us out, and then anytime Roy leaves himself open, whether that be dashing or like rolling poorly or like in here, even just empty landing, Meta Knight can run in and go for dash attacks. Like Cute here, I think was actually even trying to bait it. Let's see. Okay, he was trying to. I don't know if that was an attempt to grab or that's just the attack animation he was hitting him out of, trying to dash into invade his space. But hey, what's up, Cell Life? How's it going? Yeah, as you can see here, even at high percents, getting hit by a dash attack is bad news with capital letters. No rage, so you're gonna survive for now, but... This is a thing Metaknight will often do. The Tornado is actually really good at covering ledge options. If he starts the Tornado up, whenever you actually start doing your ledge option, no matter what ledge option you do, you actually get beaten. Because jump gets caught, roll gets caught, get up, attack, caught, get up, caught. Oftentimes, well, actually, I don't really know what the priority is of the Tornado itself, how well we could like beat it with jumping aerials. But in general, the way that you beat this sort of Tornado, the Tornado, is they have to start it a little bit early. And as long as we just hold the ledge and wait, then the Tornado goes, and then they have to either back up or risk getting punished, or we can get up with the different timing and shield in between the Tornado hits. So if they ever do this sort of Tornado, just wait, and then get up afterwards. Just like this. This is actually a perfect example of that. Good damage off the F throw. This could have been a lot more damage. That's... So he's going for an air dodge bait here. Which isn't bad in most situations, but since Cute is got such a deficit as far as percent goes, I would have just gone for F Smash here, because it's like a solid 22% on the hilt sweet spot, which you can very obviously get here. If he was at a little bit lower percent, maybe some jab strings would be better, but here I would just go for the one heavy hit. If honestly, if he had been in the opposite position, if he had been here, he probably could have just killed him with F Smash. Metaknight is not terribly heavy. But yeah, this is a bit of a missed opportunity. This matchup, you gotta follow and call movement a lot. Yeah, with this rage, definitely. Like, yeah, Metaknight can easily run away and dodge. So, which is one of the reasons why I think crouch walking is so good in this matchup, is because if you actually try and chase Metaknight with dashes and like aerials, then he can hit you out of a lot of the stuff. Whereas crouch walking like moves you forward very slowly. You can shield it at any point in time. You can down tilt or jab at any point in time. So it's a pretty safe way to like slowly take real estate, and eventually it gets to the point where Metaknight doesn't have any more ground to give, and then you can poke at him or force him to dash stack and punish. Yeah, it's like I don't think, like I said, in this stage position, since it's pretty far out, I don't think it would have actually killed, but it would have been close. So I'm actually surprised he got the edge of this. Yeah, not the best DI, as you can see here, the angle of the up air, which again is understandable because this up air is so quick. But if it was DI'd like properly out or SDI'd, I'm sure that this up B would have whiffed. But this is another one of the scary things about Metaknight. If he gets a random dash deck or a random up air at kill percents, then we just get up beat and we die. So I have to play pretty careful. I'm not sure what he's going for there. Nice punish. I'm surprised. I guess he must have power shield with the back air to get the F tilt punish. Let's see here. I'll make power shield. It's one of the things that annoys me in this game is that the power shield sound isn't quite as distinct as in other ones. Yeah, 30 damage off of back throw. That's pretty painful. Good spacing, good pressure. Get PTSD from random dash attack though. Yeah, this is... I imagine what he was trying to go for here was down airing and then landing on the stage. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know, but in case you don't, there's also a trick you could do where if you short hop and go for the fast fall to set up the down air. So short hop, fast fall, and then down air afterwards. If you stop holding down on the control stick whenever you go to press an aerial, if you're not holding down far enough to trigger the fast fall, whenever you press the aerial. Okay, let's rewind so this is as clear as I can make it. So you jump, you fast fall. You hold down slightly so you're no longer registering like the fast fall direction. And then press A again. You'll actually stop fast falling as soon as you press the A button, which is one way you can do these sorts of down airs and survive. Which this is, of course, his setup here is a good way to hit the ledge, and if you do cancel the fast fall in that method, you can survive. Or if you had just landed on stage. I'm sure this is just a mistake on his part, since Mutiny was playing pretty safe. It's pretty easy to go until when Metaknight starts playing passive. Yeah, so that game, this game could have gone either way, because with Mutiny at 120%, he would have died to a lot of stuff. Like F-Tilt would probably kill him there, as long as it wasn't like a super far cross stage. So. Yeah, a lot of that game, Mutiny, like he's playing kind of aggressive at first, but then later on switching to the more passive style, which yeah, Roy has to play kind of slow to deal with that, in my opinion. Good side Bs. Yeah, and again, this is what I'm talking about, how you can't just, even if like Cute had backed up here and then did the empty hop, even then it's pretty easy for Metaknight just to zip on in and dash attack all the things. So this sort of empty hopping, you have to be really, really, really careful doing it ever, because he will just dash attack you. And now 30%, easy. So I actually managed to trade here. I think this is a jab or a side B. Interesting. This is good spacing, though. Gets the trade. Okay, that's nice. So he did the instant dash attack. If he had delayed a little bit, he might have been able to catch the roll, or pressured the roll at least, but good reaction from Cute. He just bait his dash attack with short ups and double jump. Well, the problem is, so you can do these empty hops and then double jump on the way down, or like on the way down to try and bait out his dash attack. The problem is that his dash attack has so little landing lag that by the time you're actually falling from your double jump, then he's recovering from his animation and dash attack and can either shield and potentially punish out a shield, or just straight up arrows on the way down. So I don't think that's really a good way to punish, just because of the fact that his dash attack is so absurdly low landing lag. Otherwise it would work, and against other characters that similar kind of bait works. But I don't think it's so applicable in this matchup, unfortunately. Side B is transcendent, so it will actually cut through a dash attack, assuming you time it appropriately. But as you can see here, like he can just dash attack into shield, and he can get away. He didn't even roll away; he just ran away before the grab came out. He might have been able to clip him with side B here, but it would be pretty close at that distance. It's really a very difficult move to punish. Aside from actively like turning around and punishing to get the shield grab, there's not too much we can do to punish it out of shield. Just gotta shield it and let him get away with it, because he's a high tier character and we're not. Again, going for the air dodge bait. This would have been really good if it did work. Like he would have, if he air dodged here, he would have died to F smash hilt. But I think since S2H had already jumped out of an air dodge bait earlier on, Cute really probably should not have gone for this here. And if he had just taken like a couple extra damage, it would put him pretty far in the lead. It's really important to gauge your opponent's reactions to every single thing you do, especially big, like, critical points like this, because people air dodge into the ground against us, they die. So if you notice that they're not air dodging into the ground in the setups you do early on in the set, you should adjust and make sure that you don't try to go for them again when they're not going to work. If you dash back inside B towards Metaknight, you can beat dash attack. I think you can. It's just not terribly likely, because dash attack has hitboxes that, like, kind of move like a freight train, where they just go and they're huge the entire way. Whereas side B, it is transcendent and it does reach pretty far, but it only hits for like a couple of frames. So the accuracy as far as lining up your attack, spacing it correctly, and timing it correctly versus actually beating out the dash attack, assuming the hitboxes aren't just so big side B can't win, it's not going to be something that's reliable. You usually punish dash attack with side B if they're in range. Yeah, that's what I usually do too. That is one of the ways. That's just, it can be dicey sometimes, because if it doesn't work, then, we're probably going to get dash attacked because of the commitment to side B. His back roll's really good, too. This is really good. Really, really good. I don't know if this is... Wrong button. I don't know if this is true. I highly doubt it's true, but since it looks like he's trying to jump out of it. Oh, DLC, please. It looked like there might have been like a wing flap there for the double jump. But yes, since he was trying to double jump out of it rather than air dodging, that looked like it was pretty clean. Nice little double jump trap. So this may be one situation where DIing in would be good since you're so close to the ledge. DIing out would put Roy in a position where he has to deal with like potentially getting gimped. This could have been really, really bad though. If he did actually connect with this up air, Cute very well could have just died just by getting, sent so far off stage, and then the follow up whenever he doesn't have his double jump. Sour side B is better hitbox, so spacing it correctly is actually beneficial at a distance. This jab may have been stale. Let's see. I want to say he hit with it a couple of times in the stock. I have to go back pretty far to check his stale moves queue. Yeah, he did just land a jab here. So it was at least a little bit stale. Yeah, it is the correct read since Metaknight isn't air dodging. So that was a good adjustment. Yeah, the jab was staled at least a little bit. I'm not going to go back and check all the stale moves queue because it could be the entire game. But yeah, staled at the very least a little bit. So a little bit lower than jab would normally have sent with that percent. Pretty clean. Yeah, that is true. We have the... Yeah, no, you've talked about... Potentially, if jab is so stale, or if it's like staled a bunch, you could potentially use it to true confirm into up smash, which would be nice if it's true. Yep, didn't go to the ledge, so he's going to get thrown around a little bit. That was good. Pulling back so that he didn't fall into the neutral air. Ooh, if that F smash was facing the correct way, he probably would have died. But I think he gets clipped by down smash anyways. Good patience. This is good. Something I brought up before, and it's a pretty decent ledge option, especially if your opponent is shielding at the ledge like this, is just letting go and double jumping in, landing, and then just saying, peace, get out of here. I'm out. Peace, adios, see you later, is a good thing to do. It's a really good example of that. It was at least on the move Q 3 times. Okay, so it was pretty staled. That jab. It's kind of funny. The clank. Yeah, this is bad. This is Metaknight is another one of the characters who's got a really good punish for whenever people grab the ledge a second time. That down smash reaches super low. The back hit hits pretty hard, so we basically die whenever that happens. He might have been able. Well, the Mutiny set it up really well so that he even if Cute had held down so that he didn't snap to the ledge for his second up B, he would have just shielded it and then down smashed afterwards. So I haven't messed around with the lagless ledge hop air dodge enough to know to see if it's actually useful. All time to roll. Turnaround grab. That would have been a perfect time for a turnaround grab, but there it goes. Good damage. I think Metaknight falls relatively fast. I think he's actually pretty good weight for a down throw over forward air or forward throw. At least outside of the percents where we can potentially get the F throw to neutral air. Oh, good damage. Super good damage. Even without the full follow up, it still hurts. Okay, very good, very good. Yeah, understanding that you can't punish the whiffed F smash is really important, and the timing here to jump over the dash tech is also extremely good. Yeah, so the Cute is starting to get a feel for Mutiny's pattern here. Like, as you can see, he's just dash attacking instantly after whiffing the F smash. So there are ways to punish the dash attack if they do it in bad ways like this. Setting up the bait is really, really important. And also staying safe while you're setting up the bait. Because as you can see here, tried to roll backwards to move out of range of the dash attack, so that if Mutiny did do it, then Cute would be able to punish, like right here. If he whiffed dash attack here, Cute probably would just have killed him, whether that be, like F smash would have killed him here. I guess there wasn't any other moves that would really do it. But even just being able to get an F tilt punish would be really, really good. But being able to set up that bait, and then it didn't work here, and then still being able to like shield in time and keep it safe is really important. I don't really play online beatdown. Apologies. So if you ever run into me at a tournament, I'd be more than glad to play you. But at least right now, I'm not playing online at all. Okay, yeah, he goes for the same thing again. This time the jab isn't staled. I don't think he's hit jab much, if at all, this stock, so he is able to jump out of it. Ugh, why is that a thing? Meta Knight's up B is so good. Yeah, not responding to the trump attempt for the second time is really, really bad. Anyone who doesn't know, for trumping, as long as you're buffering a ledge option after you grab the ledge, then the trump doesn't work. Well, the only thing you can't do is directly get up from the ledge or fall off of the ledge. You can do, if you just mash either get up attack, get up roll, or ledge jump, then you'll go through regardless of the trump. Reacting to that is super, super important in high-level play. But I wondered how often do I practice? I play with others whenever I can. Whenever I'm practicing super serious, I'll practice like 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes more, like a little bit. If I'm like whenever I was practicing perfect pivoting, I was just doing like 15 minutes of perfect pivoting like once a day. But yeah, it depends on what you're trying to practice. Like in those situations, of course, like for perfect pivoting specifically, trying to learn a new tech, just trying to get that into my muscle memory. So practice a little bit over the course of days, often. But if I'm trying to like gear up right before the tournament, like for the weekend before SmashCon, I would prefer to like play with someone several hours for like 2 or 3 times in the week. I'm gonna look into practicing online. We'll see. So this is a 3 out of 5 set. Going back to FD. I don't know if I like FD. I'm not sure about this matchup. Because in some matchups, you'd want, like, personally, I prefer, like, Town and City, so you can kill off the top earlier, but you don't necessarily want that against Metaknight, because he can kill us with up B. I don't know if Battlefield would be good. That sounds like it could be a really good Meta Knight stage. I feel like this stage gives Meta Knight a lot of room to set up these dash attacks, though. So yeah, see, like when we're in this position, it's actually a really good spot for us. Even though Cute isn't actually hitting him here, this is so close that committing to a dash attack is really, really scary for S2H. And we could potentially just even trade with his weak tilts is going to be a trade in our favor. Still can't quite do perfect pivots yet. They're pretty difficult. They take a lot of practice. Yeah, I do actually have a LAN adapter, but the problem is my my router is in a different part of my house, so there isn't really any way for me to like wire connect to it. Lilac might be good against Meta Knight. I don't know. That might make naring him easier, like at different tilts, but I have no experience, so I can't really say. That kind of turns it into a different type of game, but it could be good. Meta Knight can't really offstage and Lilac well. Does this up B have a problem with the ledges? That's a shame. I've seen this happen before, where people accidentally get the... I don't know if this is... I'm assuming this is an unintentional pivot grab, because that happens sometimes. But it would have been really clean if it was a neutral air and just dashing forward grab. So going for the setup here, that's cool. Res sword like even flames a little bit on the back air. Or the glow is so strong it almost looks like a fire effect. But yeah, this is a jab block setup for anyone who hasn't seen it. If we do forward throw and they land, and they don't tech, then this back air will jab reset them, and then we can get like falling up air into back air, potentially more footstools. Lots of fun stuff. I don't think Metaknight can angle his up B now. It is static. This is actually a really good weave by him. Going under and then coming back up. Yeah, so like it's like I mentioned before, a lot of characters whiffing neutral air like that would be super safe, but Metaknight will it will put on lots of damage. You have to be very careful. Put you up to 71. Shoutouts to YOLO down airs, gotta love them. So the neutral B here is an interesting choice. Unfortunately, done like this, it's not that great. As far as I understand it, it's actually the explosion that's the hitbox rather than the blade itself. So as you can see, at least at this releasing at this timing, it's not a particularly good way to approach it. If he had charged a little bit further, he probably would have actually clipped Metaknight with this flare blade. So it was a decent idea. Unfortunately, executed a little bit poorly, and the second F smash will come through and punish that. Patient play by him. Good shield on the dash attack. Yeah, again, this is a good back understanding that he can't actually punish the dash attack, so going in deep afterwards gets him in a good enough position where he can land the jab. I think this could have been a side B here. Definitely in range for it. Maybe would have ended too fast, but here we go. This is good. Yeah, dash back and then the extended foxtrot back for the side B. Very good way to punish. And this is... I think this is something we need to be doing a lot against Metaknight, because this is the sort of thing that we can bait safely. You can poke with something, poke with down tilt. If they, Metaknight's not really going to be able to hit you out of that. There's a very small window where you can technically dash attack you on down tilt whiffing, but it's so fast that it's not really going to happen. And so then dashing back like this, and then reacting if he did do dash attack with the side B of our own, is a really strong way to safely bait out the dash attack. Nice strings. 2 high percent for forward throw to neutral air, though. This should have been like, I'm pretty sure at these percents we can get down throw up air against Metaknight, or down throw forward air. Good jump out. Good baits, good keeping safe after the whiffed forward smash. Very good reaction to the trump attempt. Hello VLC, exploding in color. Almost got down aired. That Brawl Metaknight probably would have hit with that down air, but yeah, trying to finish the stock with dash attack. A little bit too preemptive, since that up air is perfectly fine in my opinion. I'll take that damage to get back up to center stage. That could have been a kill on the whiffed up smash. That could have been F smash of our own, or even just waiting for the attack to go out and then up smashing of ourselves. Very important to be able to get as big a punish as possible on Metaknight, since he's so safe. A lot of times we won't be able to get too much. Very clean. Yep, so now both players are looking for ways to kill now. Got a little antsy on that down air. Fortunately, Metaknight does not have good kill throws, but that will be able to set up for the chase off stage. Yeah, Metaknight has a good enough recovery that he can chase pretty hard. Gonna read. Well, the read was correct on the roll, but a little too early. And that will do it, yeah. Bit closer to center stage and had higher percent, so. I like the rolling behind to try and poke at Metaknight from behind, since Metaknight doesn't really have... He has neutral air, but it's not something that Smash4 Metaknights are really used to using to like control the space around themselves, since it's not quite as busted as Brawl neutral air was. So, yeah, since Metaknight's forward tilt isn't really that great either, and his jab is meh, and his down tilt is good, but it's not great for, like, turning around down tilting. So if we can get to Metaknight's back, we can usually pressure him pretty decently. A little slow on the dash attack, so it didn't connect. Again, with the... this kind of goes back to what I was saying before, too. If you try to do a trick like this, where... so obviously, this jab block setup doesn't work if your opponent actually techs on the forward throw. If you try it once and it doesn't work, I feel like you shouldn't go for it again, because they've already shown that they understand how to get out of that situation, or have like the reaction to get out of the situation. That is something that will work on some players because they're not expecting it, or they just don't understand the timing, or various other very little tiny reasons. But yeah, if it doesn't work one time, I would recommend not trying it for the second time, because you're giving away different opportunities to try something else if you do. Watched a single zero Meta Knight for glory. It was all Nair. Yeah, I bet. Meta Knight's Nair was amazing in Brawl. And it still like works kind of similarly in this game. It's just not as godlike. The hitboxes aren't as humongous. Doesn't do quite as much damage. Got a nice setup to getting behind his back to set up the side B. And then this is why I don't like doing jab. Because you can whiff, and then you can get dash attacked. And then you can get dead. So anytime I'm expecting him to do an approach on the ground, I'll just use down tilt over jab. Against most characters, jab is better because it covers like the jump a little bit. There's a little bit less commitment than down tilt. But down tilt is just better versus Meta Knight. Friend use scenario recovery. Yeah, that'll do it. Yes, in this situation, I don't think Cute could have gotten out of the follow-up since Mutiny was so far forward. He may have been able to like Cute may have been able to SDI super hard and then SDI the first hit of up B again too as well, but pretty dicey. Mostly just getting killed. I wonder if he could have actually DI'd in rather than DIing out here to try and escape. Just DI like straight up so that the sweet spot of up B doesn't hit him. Worth messing with in the future, I suppose. And it does suck pretty hard to be dying, like, you know, at this percent. Like, you get dash attacked at, what, like, 70? 80? Yeah, and this is the reason why I'm trying to, like, pound it into your head, that getting dash attacked really, really sucks, is because you can get dash attacked at 80 and then just die. Brawl Meta Knight is like, could you imagine if... I don't know about that. Pre-patch Diddy had really, really consistent throw combos and damage. But yeah, Brawl Meta Knight was a monster. Yeah, so it looked like he did DI the up B correctly. He did actually just die to this. Yeah, you just need to not get hit by dash attack. It's a pretty unreasonable thing to expect, honestly, because Meta Knight's dash attack is so good. But if we want to win the matchup, it's just what we gotta do. It has to happen. But yeah, this is a pretty good match. Like the Cute still like put up a good fight. It was good. He did good. He did work around with the dash attack in pretty good ways. It's just the few times you get clipped by it, like the jab here to try and poke him out of it. Jab just isn't very good against Meta Knight. It's just not a great tool in this matchup. Imagine the pre-patch Diddy's moves were all Transcendent Priority. I don't know, Transcendent Priority is honestly like, it's a double-edged sword. Being able to cut through all of your opponent's stuff and trade with them, everything is good, but Meta Knight actually didn't do all that much damage in Brawl. So trading with the other higher tier characters, like Snake especially, trading with Snake's any tilts is going to be a really bad trade for Brawl Meta Knight. But it's more so, his Transcendent Priority wasn't the big thing, it was more so how much range he had and how fast his attacks came out, and the end lag on it. Like, all of his frame data was really, really, really good. So... sure if you can DI the dash attack, but if you DI away normally, you can only follow the shuttle loop. He did hit pretty... I think if, when he's this deep, like, he was almost... Like, you can see here, the dash attack goes pretty far. Like, he's going to end dash attack, like, around right here. He was at about the middle, so that will set up a little bit better into the up air than if he had been around, like, the tip range of the dash attack. So I'm pretty sure the up air here is guaranteed. But... I'm not sure which way he DI'd. It does look like DI up. So maybe he could have DI'd away to only get caught by the up B, and then he probably would have survived. You're probably correct there, Bukadar. Yeah, so that's something that someone should probably lab and figure out, though. I haven't studied the DI and such on Meta Knight's kill strings that extensively. Tip dash ticket sends you more into Meta Knight? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's something I think we should probably lab a little bit and share with all the other right players. But I think, for now, that is going to be it for tonight's stream. Yeah, if anyone wants to see that that frame data doc, either currently in chat or on YouTube later in the future, let me know, and I'll drop it in the comments, the description, or the chat here. But other than that, going to be it for tonight. I'm going to be streaming more this week. Probably going to be doing some more speed running for Symphony of the Night and playing through that casually. Maybe another analysis, see if we can fit another one of those in. But until then, I'll see you guys later in the week.